Hello and welcome back to Shadows over Legaria, everybody. I am your Dungeon Master TG, and with me tonight we have got Mad Kite, Chameleon Ice, Dad Kite, Crimson Avix, Sad Kite, OPT Lawyer, and Bad Kite, Norestra.
Why am I sad?
Why am I mad? I know why I'm bad.
Wait. Did Cham actually just get mad about being Mad Kite?
Yes, that's why you're Mad Kite! Anyway, welcome back to episode 10, aka your DM Dungeon Master Can't Do episode, so I had this as episode 9 in my notes. Also called Potions of Plenty, which ruins the love potion number 9 joke. But anyway, we don't need to worry about that. Recap. Last time, you just had a bunch of small little interactions around the city. Chloe woke up in her dorm after running off from the restaurant, bookless, where as she was leaving, she would gather up her things. She met with one of her absolutely favorite professors in Satra Nightshine, the necromancy professor, who isn't Chloe's biggest fan. Did mention the fact that she hasn't heard from Professor Real Creek or from your lovely friend in a while. So you went off to investigate Professor Real Creek's office. There you found some information that he was looking into on objects called palimpsests, which you discovered are basically crystals that have been scrubbed of all their identifying marks used to smuggle slaves or people. Kiara, you and the prince took a small trip down to the Cinderbrook Keep Library, where you found a little bit of information about the history of the Laguz tribes. You found some old journal entries that were, you don't know who they were written by, talking about something that happened. And then you found one page of an old tome written by Laura Zaya, the person who united all the bird tribes, talking about how something came up from a gash in the earth and destroyed most of the humans and the Laguz that were in the area. You also know from Llewellyn, who was with you at the time, that the mole wrath that was explained about in the journal entries is in the very southern part of the Legarian continent on the border between Andarion and... I can't remember my provinces now. Niamende, thank you. It's now a petrified forest.
Gotcha.
In the process of all this, every time someone went to go talk to Kite, he kept getting madder and madder that they were interrupting him. First, there was a discussion with Kite, then some other things happened. One of those was that Ponzi got met by an old friend, an old family friend by the name of Caspian Duras, who asked Ponzi to gather up his friends, and he was trying to hire them to stop a robbery he knew was going to happen that he couldn't be at his shop for because he had other business in the town to attend to tonight. So Ponzi went to gather up a bunch of people. Kite got interrupted again, which was a running joke in the whole episode. Yeah. And it was determined that after asking a bunch of people, you guys were going to go ahead and head to the Shiny Flask, Caspian Duras's alchemy shop, to get paid 50 gold a head and stop the thieves from stealing whatever it is they were planning on stealing. Where last we left, you guys were in the great entry hall of the Cinderbrook Keep, getting ready to head to the Shiny Flask.
I honestly thought we were there to stop any robbery in case it happened, not that we knew a robbery was actually going to happen.
No, he flat out said it. He's heard that people were planning to hit his shop when they knew he was out. That's why he was hiring Ponzi.
Yeah, it wasn't a random hiring.
No. It was not a random hire. That is correct. So
Kite is still fully distrustful in this, by the way.
Oh, so is Chloe. I mean, it's one of Ponzi's friends. There's no way you can trust it.
Friends?
No, it's not even Ponzi's friend. It's someone that Ponzi knows that Ponzi doesn't even trust.
Right. Yeah.
So, you're right, I forgot about that.
Without further ado, welcome to Shadows over Legaria, episode 10, Potions of Plenty. As I said, it is the 5 of you, Chloe, Kite, Ponzi, Kiara, and Kai, in the great entrance hall of the Cinderbrook Keep, getting ready to head out towards the Shiny Flask.
As long as the shiny flask isn't on the corner of 34th and Vine, I think we'll be all right.
No, it's on the corner of Vine and 34th.
Crap.
No, it's in the high end of the business district.
Gotcha.
About how long is it going to take us to get there? Like, should we leave now? I believe you said we had a half hour before we had to be there, so
I think now is relative, Cham.
gotcha.
Yeah.
I mean, whenever we leave, we can pass those 30 minutes as quick as we wanted, so.
Yeah,
Right,
you have
exactly.
the ability to do that.
Gotcha.
Yes, my favorite speed, the speed of plot.
Ooh, I like that speed.
When's now?
Now is now. Well, if we're going to be going into basically what amounts to probably a trap of some kind, or at least a bad situation, we should probably be prepared for the inevitable. So,
Wait, hold on. Inevitable. Are you telling me I should be prepared to die?
no, Ponzi.
No, just get knocked out.
Several times.
It'll be blown clear. It'll be fine.
And if they don't do it, I'll do it for you.
What I mean is, if we think something nefarious is going to happen, maybe we should try to preempt it. I don't know. Ponzi, what would you do in this situation?
You're asking Ponzi what he would do in a situation where stuff is available to be stolen.
No.
A thief!
I'm asking Ponzi, what would you do if you were trying to potentially set somebody up under the ruse of having them guard your wares?
Oh, I would have them guard my wares.
Ponzi, what he would be doing is taking the money and running.
Yes. Yeah, probably.
How well do you know this acquaintance of yours to what he might actually be trying to pull here?
I honestly don't think it's him.
Ponzi, make me an insight check. Okay. What you know and remember about Mr. Caspian Duras. He is an extremely neat and finicky person and has absolutely no tolerance for anyone he deems to be barbaric in nature. If anyone would drag even a smidgen of dirt into any of his establishments, he would refuse to serve them at all costs. You know that Caspian considers himself an educated man and prefers to only mingle with people of his own class, but will make exceptions if it benefits him. If you know that if it was up to him, any place he established shop, he would do everything he could to remove anyone of the lower classes from the area.
So yeah, I don't think he's setting us up.
Then why does
Sounds
it
like a
feel
great
so
guy.
wrong?
He sounds like a really great guy.
I
He sounds.
I don't think this is a setup from him, but someone else.
So you do think it's a setup?
Probably.
If it's not a setup from him and he's the one hiring us, doesn't that mean he has to be in the know?
Unless the thieves that purposely informed him. He said he heard ahead of time that there was going to be a robbery. So maybe somebody let him know ahead of time so that he would do something to react to it? And that's what they're playing on?
Chloe, you went to school in Argenti, so you know the city well.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know the city well, go ahead and give me an insight check, albeit at disadvantage.
Oh. Oh.
Continue on.
I just can't shake this uncomfortable feeling, but we need the money and we agreed to the job, so we're going to do it. I just want us to be prepared.
Who needs the money?
I
Kai
do.
raises his hand eagerly.
Kira,
You
I saw
used the
from
word
Clovis.
we very, very previously.
Well, I mean, I'm sure.
Kira kind of like shrugs, like, I don't have a lot of human money, so I guess I technically need it.
I've never had human money, so yeah, I'm interested.
It's funny.
Yes, we all know you have no problem.
Yes. Ponzi, in other news, the sky is blue.
The thing with this situation that bothers me is we are told by someone that thieves are coming to take whatever. How do we know who's good and who's bad in this?
Well, if we're guarding the store after it's closed, anybody who tries to break in clearly would be, I'd assume, somebody who's bad in that scenario.
What if this person that's hiring us, despite what Ponzi says, is the one concocting all this superhuman stuff that we've been witnessing by the Duke?
Well, then we would
And-
in the
and if
potion
the-
shop.
And if they're breaking in to destroy it?
I hadn't considered that.
Well, we would be in the potion.
Yes, we would be in the potion shop.
But he would hide it if he didn't want us to find it. Especially if it was illicit.
And what's to say it's not hidden?
Right.
If we take out the thieves before they can
Find it.
thieves before they can find it, we will never know.
Well, I would be looking around at his wares to make sure that, everything's on the up and up.
Well, I'm sure he has hidden compartments and various other ways of obscuring things he doesn't want found. He's a potions master, after all.
Well, we could just set a trap and figure it out.
Chloe?
Yeah.
Um,
Yes.
Would you know what you were looking for if you were trying to find some super secret soldier potion?
Sort of. We already did have some of the base of it, didn't we?
So that's a no. So it could be just on the shelf in plain sight.
I'm sure it's labeled. Yeah, that would be kind of...
I'm just pointing this out because I don't kill on needlessly.
Oh, we wouldn't kill them.
What else do you expect to do? That's what he wants us to do.
But if they're thieves, we would turn them into the guards after we knock them out.
Yeah, he didn't say we had to kill. He just said we had to secure.
After we knock them out?
Well, I have...
Kite, that's the royal we. She's talking about you, me, and Kiara.
Pretty much.
I have spells to knock people out.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and how many potions will be destroyed in the process?
If I had known that we were going to be guarding a valuable potion shop, I wouldn't have...
At this point, Llewellyn flies up and goes, "Madam, can I make a suggestion?"
Yes,
Stop.
I know. I only use it as a last resort.
You can't just run into the potion shop and cast Fireball!
It's not Fireball!
Says the guy who randomly runs into gelatinous cubes.
That's different.
Not really.
Yes, it is.
Different.
One of them's stupid, the other one's explosive.
Well, one of them's more of a danger to yourself, the other's a danger to everybody.
Again, madam, which one of these is he talking about? They both qualify!
Yeah, fair.
So, are we just going to stand here and keep talking, or are we going to go set a trap?
No.
We agreed to this, so we should go.
We should go. Absolutely. And I like Kite's idea, so we should make sure, if we can, to subdue the criminals instead of slaughtering them heedlessly. If they even show up at all, it could be quiet. No, that's a bad idea. Yes, we should go.
Quiet would worry me more.
Yeah.
Because that would mean that there was no attempted break-in, and we were having the wool pulled over our eyes.
Yes, we would have been pushed away, and something else could have been happening at the back of the castle.
There's guards here.
And really, there's nothing here of importance anyway, since we're taking Kai and the prince with us, right?
No, we're not taking the prince.
Oh.
No.
It'd be a little date.
We're not taking the prince.
Ponzi, if you think Chancellor Margrave is letting us sneak Alwyn out while nobody else is around, you're crazy. You haven't been around and listening to him. He is a crazy old man.
Well, probably for the
He didn't
best.
give me a credit card.
That's better, though. Alwyn will be safe here with all the guards.
Boy, I sure hope the guards are better here than in Darien.
You're not wrong.
Either way, let's just get this over with.
Did they at least have names? Last time I remember, it was just Guardsman 1, Guardsman 2, Guardsman 3.
No. It was A, B, and C.
I don't remember that. I remember numbers.
It's pathetic that they have to resort to letters because they can't count.
That's
Oh,
also
dear.
true. Well, they get up to 10. That's about it.
20 if they're not wearing greaves.
Well, they have to be, so yeah.
I mean, at this point, Kai's like, well, there was one crazy person who kept talking about trying to invent steel-toed sandals.
Why wouldn't you just wear boots at that point?
With that, Kite just walks away.
Yeah. Kira's gonna follow Kite.
So as all are walking,
And we're walking.
and we're walking some more. No, go ahead. And as you guys are walking, I'm not going to make you roll for this because it's going to be, it's going to be pretty easy to spot this because you'll see in a second. So you're walking. You make your way towards the business district, and as you get to the beginning of the business district, you hear this horrible sound. You hear this, yo!
I only heard for the first
You
part.
cut out, and that's probably for the best.
You just
Yeah.
hear this, yo!
Is she?
It was better for
Is that at us or is that at somebody else?
That is at you specifically, and you look to your right where the sound came from, and you see this lovely woman.
Oh, great, we're in Salem now.
Yes, and she is pointing at you, Chloe.
Why me?
Do you want the
Because
real
you're
reason?
from
Or
here.
do you want the real reason or the fake reason?
Whatever reason.
Yeah, the real reason. Because I rolled the die
Gotcha. I see.
3 weeks ago.
Ooh, that's.
Remember when I had you give me those 3 random numbers?
I do.
This is what it was for.
Yay! I'm important. Randomly.
Yes. So she looks and goes, "You, quickly, follow me." And she goes and drags your arm, and she's not taking no for an answer. She's trying to drag you into her shop.
Kira's going to immediately detour and step up to her. It's like, excuse me.
Yes.
It's more polite to ask someone to follow you rather than just grab them.
I understand. The fates have spoken. I need.
I'm afraid I don't have any money.
It doesn't matter. I just need. The fates have spoken to me, and I need to read your fortune quickly. Come inside. Come inside.
Kite rushes over and shoves the edge of his glaive into one of the sides of the door frame, basically creating a barricade with his glaive.
Well, hold on. Ma'am. You are, yes. Ma'am, why do you need to read my fortune?
The fates, they've spoken to me, and it feels like it needs to happen, and I'm not going to mess with the fates, dearie.
How much are the fates charging today?
Fates are charging. Well, for you, they'll charge a lot. For her, nothing. The fates will have nothing good to say about you, but for a price, they will.
It's divination magic. It should be absolutely fine. And you can probably do it right here.
It's a card reading, so just come in. Your friends can come in. Just come sit at the table. It won't take long. I promise.
Do you perform well under pressure because you'll have a glaive at your neck the entire time.
It can be next to the neck, just not at the neck. I like to move a little when I do this. It's going to be a little dramatic.
Just don't move forward then, and you'll be fine.
Just come inside.
I will admit I'm curious. Chloe follows her, but
Kira make sure to step inside before the woman and you do.
Well, let's step inside the old crone's hut, shall we?
I love how everyone's stepping inside without Kite pulling his glaive out first.
We can duck.
Said it was going to be at her throat, so I just assumed you were walking in with an actual throat.
I kind of assumed you grabbed it already.
Right, kind of the same.
So she sits down and goes, I wasn't quite expecting such aggression, but anyway. So she takes the deck of cards and she shuffle, and she...
I'm sorry if I don't trust much.
So she lays out 3 cards in front, and she looks at you and goes, all right, dearie. So these 3 represent the past, the present, and the future. So take whichever one you'd like and flip it face up first. This would be your past.
Very well. Chloe flips over the middle one.
Okay, so you flip this middle card over, and it appears to be a picture of a druid. And the druid is facing the crone. She goes, oh, the druid. But it's the reverse druid, so that's negligent.
Negligence?
It's easier to remain neutral instead of taking a stance for one side or the other, dearie, but inaction can lead to imbalance. Seek out your voice and stand with those who need your assistance. That is what the reverse druid means from your past.
Very well. Ah.
The next card represents your present. Please flip one.
Okay, the left one.
All right, so you flip it up, and it appears to be a picture of a fire elemental, also facing the old crone. Oh, the reverse elemental. It means you're struggling to let go of your past and move on. Channel the power of your elements to help you out in your present, dearie.
Very well.
The last card, please flip over the card representing your future.
So she flips over the right card, that's the only choice.
And this card has a picture of what appears to be a friendly-looking face. And it is facing you.
Ooh.
Oh, wonderful. This is the positive ally. Companionship can make even the most difficult of journeys more enjoyable. Find someone on the same quest as you and use their alliance to the benefit of all involved. Don't be afraid to become friends with the people you're working with, dear.
I already am, but I appreciate that.
Clearly, the fates just want to remind you.
I feel like the fates are trying to tell you to go ahead and date Prince Alwyn.
Oh, there's a boy involved? Oh, I love this.
He's not on the same quest as I am.
You have to come back and tell me if it works, and if you really need one, I know how to make a wonderful love potion.
He's clearly not in the cards, so he's not in my future.
Well, the ally can be a prince, and why wouldn't one want a strapping young prince?
Because he's not on my quest. I know what my quest is.
She didn't say the current quest.
Same quest as, I know what my quest is.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not going to change anytime soon.
But the old crone looks, doesn't move forward, leans over to Kiara and goes, why doesn't she want the strapping young prince? Every girl wants a strapping young prince.
So Kiara leans over and is like, I don't really understand humans all that much. but I think she's embarrassed.
Why would one be embarrassed about a strapping young prince?
She's socially awkward.
Oh. I mean, so am I, but you and I want a strapping young prince. And she looks around. She looks around for a second, looks at Ponzi, shakes her head no, looks over at Kite, goes, I guess that makes you the strapping young prince?
He's not with us.
Hardly.
So he's not with you, or the prince isn't with you. You'll have
The
to
prince. The prince is not with us.
Oh, okay, okay.
I appreciate your
At
time.
that point, Kite picks up the glaive, doesn't hit Chloe with it, but
What?
gives Chloe a nudge.
Oh, I'm not. I understand. We should go.
Again, just remember, if you need a love potion, the only one I can brew, but please do come back and see me. And if it's for the strapping young prince, I'll be sure to give you a discount.
I'll keep that in mind. And Chloe gets up. So thank you for your time, ma'am.
No, thank you for indulging this old lady's whims. Please come back to Tabitha's Taros. Thank you.
Chloe, as you're getting out, give me a perception check.
Okay. Where's my ball? My perception's terrible, that's why.
I'm guessing it's not going to be a high check. Oh gosh. Well, there you go.
I rolled well.
As you get up, you see Kite putting 2 kunai back in his belt.
Yeah, he was ready. I know. And so Chloe walks out of the hut. I'm sorry, everybody. That seemed to be a bit of a waste of time.
A bit.
I don't know. You feel like a good, important message from your ancestors.
And you're not sure where, but Ponzi has a bucket of popcorn. He's just sitting there munching on it.
Kai is also eating from the popcorn bucket.
I think she got more information than we did.
You
Agreed.
think it might have been a trick?
Kai looks through the window of the old crone and goes, I don't think I think she's just heard strapping young prince and is just using that terminology to talk about somebody who she thinks is hot. Or in her case, cute.
You really are naive, aren't you?
I didn't take the memory wiping spell. I knew I should have. Huh.
Well, we could just,
She practices divination.
That's true. That actually wouldn't have done a thing.
Well, we could practice mauling an old lady. But...
No! She could be an innocent old crone.
I'm not saying anything other than we need to watch who we speak of.
You're very right. Sorry.
We also need to get going.
We do. We have to hurry.
So you continue with a rather quiet walk down to Caspian Duras's Shiny Flask. In the high-end business district. For those who do not remember what Mr. Duras looks like, this is Caspian Duras again. A charming fellow, wouldn't you say?
It's like Voldemort's like goofy cousin.
Well, chat's already talked about how the old crone was Umbridge, so let's just keep with the Harry Potter thing.
Yeah.
Who's the divine one here?
So at this point, you guys welcome us. Ah, yes, Ponzi, and these must be your friends. Excellent. I'm sure young Poffers has told you about the nature of your job tonight.
Yep, they're aware.
You could reiterate it, though.
Simple. If I didn't have a business meeting that I had to attend to, I would be watching the shop myself. But a very important business meeting, and I kept so. I've heard through the grapevine that there are thieves planning to rob my shop tonight, and I can't be having them. So, as I said, as I'm sure Mr. Poff has told you, 50 gold per person to ensure nothing leaves the shop that isn't supposed to. And nothing is supposed to leave the shop.
Of course.
I guess you can't go to your business meeting then, can you?
I'm outside of the shop already.
I have a
Hit you with
question.
the- hit you with the-
I have a question for you, Mr. Durez.
Yes.
Hypothetically, if you were to stay here tonight, would the robbery not occur?
No, the robbery would probably still occur.
Okay.
Just be stopped. But as I said, I cannot be here to stop it.
I see. Do you have any natural defenses in your business? Wards or anything we should know about in that sense?
I'm an alchemist, not a wizard.
Does this grapevine have a name?
I don't name my grapevines. Why would I name a grapevine?
How do you get information from a vine of grapes?
You listen very carefully.
Okay.
Or you call a druid, one of the two.
Kite looks in disbelief over at Ponzi. I want to smack him more than I want to smack you.
Not gonna stop you.
Anyway, I thank you very much for taking this on.
You're welcome.
Let me just be clear with one thing. I have no need for the money. If you cross us, it's your life.
Trust me, I wish I didn't have to part with the money. I would rather talk to somebody I know than somebody I don't. So,
If there's one thing that I've learned about this kingdom, it's the people who open with trust me. It's the ones that you can trust the least.
trust me when I say this, and Poffers can confirm this. I don't like parting with money any more than I have to.
He's not wrong. It hurts inside when I have to spend money.
Yes, I would imagine so. But, I mean, 250 gold could easily be parted with if you're taking in 2,000 gold, could it not?
It's still gold.
I'm the best alchemist in Argenti. I take in a lot of money. That doesn't mean I want to part with a lot of money.
Yeah, bribes do amazing things, don't they? As I said, you cross us, it's your life.
I'm not planning on crossing. I'm planning on going to a business meeting and coming back to a fully stocked alchemy shop. Good day. And he just turns on a heel and starts walking.
Chloe's eyes kind of widen slightly. It shows like a mental realization, but she kind of keeps it to herself for now. Well, we should probably prepare ourselves.
You failed that.
Oh yeah, no, Kai absolutely failed that.
Oh, yeah.
So
That's his full name, Zakaya? Nice, I like it.
Kaya, yes. So let's go ahead and transition maps again. This time
Good
the shiny
joy.
glass.
I'm looking for the windows. Looking for the windows.
You see some windows.
I take the passage to the conservatory.
You find Mr. Body. Now you have to figure out who did it. Dun dun dun.
So,
Not Ponzi. He's face down too.
Oh, Ponzi is Mr. Body.
Hey!
as we're setting up here, Chloe's going to speak up now that we're presumably alone. Don't you all find it somewhat strange that he knows his precious shop is going to get robbed tonight, but he still finds it more valuable to go out and do this meeting than to protect his wares? That means that whatever this meeting is has to be extremely important.
It just has to be
find
more
it-
valuable than 250 gold.
Oh, no, it has to be more valuable than his entire shop.
I also find it interesting that he does not seem in the least worried about it happening either.
Exactly.
It's like he almost knows that we're able to protect it, even though he knows none of us other than the guy who always dies.
Hey, that's been a new thing lately.
I'm more curious about what this meeting he's going to is. Because
he said it was a business meeting.
it is, but I can't shake that thought that a Kite had, where he may be involved in some of these drugs that are being used to change these soldiers.
Well, while we're here, let's take a look around.
And Kyle looks up. Do you want me to follow him?
You'd be too obvious.
Not if you were invisible.
Does that work with you not around?
It works as long as I'm concentrating on it.
So,
Which would be a bad idea considering it'd be all night.
Yeah, it's true.
It's also a bad idea if you have to break your concentration for whenever these thieves show up.
That's even worse. It was just a thought out loud. You following me a bad idea. Nobody will be there to protect you.
I can protect myself as he cracks his knuckles.
That's what Ponzi and I thought when we were almost dead on the floor amidst bullywugs.
He laughed. You almost died to frogs? So what you're saying is you could have croaked.
She doesn't laugh.
You almost died to frogs!
We should get prepared.
All right, so someone said look around. So if you'd like to, go ahead and give me investigation check.
Kite is not going to bother because he has no clue what he'd be looking for.
Neither does Kiara.
Yeah.
Chloe technically partially should because she knows magic stuff, but not potions as much.
If she wants to, she can. Okay, so Kiara,
I'm just looking at the pretty bottles.
No. You sit there and you see this light dancing on the wall back and forth. And you have this very innate thing to chase this light. It's basically, for the rest of you, the light, the fading twilight shine coming in and causing the city to get its silver shimmer is reflecting off of the glass, the potion wearers, and making the light shimmer on the wall.
We have a medieval laser pointer.
Yes, we do!
You see Kiara like walking, like pacing at the same pace as the light is kind of swinging back and forth.
For the record, I have been waiting 10 episodes to make a medieval laser pointer. Chloe, you do know magic, you don't know potions. Alchemy, you did the required potions course because you had to, and that was
of course, it. Yeah.
Yeah, you have no idea what you'd be looking for. Ponzi! You look around, and you don't find much. But you do take a quick look around in what would be the back section, Caspian's personal lab. And you find two things. You find mounted up on the wall. Give me 1 second here. Mounted up on the wall, you find Caspian's pistol.
Why didn't he take it with him?
And also, on his lab table, you find a very mysterious pair of goggles.
Ponzi's gonna put the goggles on.
Okay. Question. As a gnome, do you have dark vision?
Yes.
It suddenly feels like your dark vision goes a lot farther than it normally does. Like 60 feet farther.
Ooh.
It's night vision goggles.
Yeah.
Actually, I am going to give an investigation check just because Kite's going to be rummaging around for paperwork.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
also gonna grab the gun because
okay. I will give the gun how a flintlock pistol works. So I'll do the flintlock pistol stuff real quick, then we'll get to you, Kite. So pistols, flintlock pistols specifically, or this type of pistol, in D&D works. It has a couple of tags. It has ammunition and loading. The information is right there, but it's a 1d10 piercing damage shot. It's got a close range of 30 feet, a long range of 90 feet. It has ammunition. So this type of gun, it's if you fire it, ammunition is gone. You cannot retrieve it. The loading feature is basically, it doesn't matter how many attacks you get. It's load, fire, one shot, no matter what.
As Kite is looking around the office for papers, he sees Ponzi pull that down. He walks over to Ponzi, points at the exit for the bullet. That's the side that you point at the enemy.
Muzzle.
I would have never cast.
Yes, and you do find a pouch with 10 muzzle bullets.
This might be useful.
So, Kite, you start rummaging around looking, and what Ponzi told you about Caspian is 100% true. He is meticulous. He is neat. He is organized. There's not an item out of place. Mise en place. Everything is where it needs to be and where it should be. So it would make finding things very easy once you find where the paperwork is. And you do. And unfortunately, all you see are sales ledgers about legitimate potions being bought at the store. Potions of healing, it's a lot of healing potions and like antidotes and things like that. There was somebody who bought what appears to be a soft potion, for lack of descriptions. So you don't find anything that would be considered on the incriminating side, but you do find all the ledgers.
What's the amount of money that these ledgers come to?
A stupid amount. Basically, like, you have Ponzi. So Ponzi knows how much you should be charging for a basic healing potion and to make a profit on. This is quadruple that amount. So let's say, for example, a basic healing potion costs 100 gold or 100. Yeah, this guy charges 400.
Hey, Ponzi.
Yeah.
I know you like to swindle some of your customers. And no, I'm not saying that you rob them or anything else. You like to swindle them. You like to take them for as much money as you can.
I like a good deal.
How much would you sell a healing potion for?
Oh, depends on which one, but yeah, a couple gold pieces maybe.
A common healing potion is 50 gold.
Okay, so common 50 gold then. Okay, got it.
Just for that's the prices that are listed in the PHP. So
Okay.
No wonder why this guy calls you a failure. This guy's swindling people for 4 times that amount. We have ledgers on here for 5 healing potions for 1,000 gold.
Well, he does need to make a profit. Maybe he just marks them up.
4
That's one
times
more.
what Ponzi charges?
Actually, if he charges 50, that'd be 8 times.
No,
5 healing. You said 4 healing potions or 5?
5 healing potions, so 200 apiece.
Okay.
I thought it was 400 apiece, my bad.
No, that was the number Teach gave. So
Gotcha.
yeah,
It is exorbitant. But we are also in the rich district too. I don't.
So back to your point, Chloe,
Mm-hmm.
and even Kiara. What is so important at this meeting that he's willing to walk away from stuff that he's charging 4 times the amount?
Exactly.
It must be an important meeting. Kira says that she's stopped pacing, but she's still watching the light on the wall.
Now it's just her head bopping back and forth.
Basically, yeah.
And, I mean, we have a Ponzi. So
Right.
we know that the only thing more important to Ponzi than money is money.
Well, no, he cares about people too.
Only if they have money.
I mean,
At this point, you see
alcohol
Kai bobbing his head with Kiara at the light.
alcohol might come a close second, but I don't think this is just a entertainment party that he's attending.
Oh, absolutely not. Well, we have no way of finding out about it. There's no invitations or anything here, are there? Are there?
Well, investigation checks if you're specifically looking for that and not
Invitations!
Just looking.
Invitations!
That's a good roll.
That's a
Oh, Chloe knows what they are.
fantastic roll. So I will 100% with all 100% sure say you look all around and there is no invitations. There is nothing determining, like there is no calendar information. There is nothing determining what this was. However, in your looking around, you do stumble across a couple of vials of potion that aren't on the shelves.
Fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
Are they labeled in any way?
They are not labeled. They are in these four-sided diamond-shaped flasks.
Ponzi, do you recognize what these are? She holds up one of them. I found these here and they're unmarked.
Ponzi, you can go ahead and roll me. There's not really an alchemy skill, but an alchemy tools proficiency check, which is basically your intelligence modifier plus your proficiency plus a d20.
Wowzers.
There you go.
Okay. You, in fact, do know what these are. There are 3 of these potions. So the first one, it is a thin, teal-colored liquid. And you know this is a potion that is called Neverwinter Extra.
Extract?
Extra, E-X-T-R-A.
Extra.
This strength and potency of this thin liquid make it very expensive and difficult to come by. This potion can typically only be, afforded by the very elite. Ponzi, you know that Neverwinter Extra provides the following benefits. Once you consume the potion, you gain advantage on the next wisdom saving throw you make for the next minute. And for 1 minute, you may use a bonus action to cast the spell Minor Illusion.
If Ponzi's saying that out loud to himself, like what it does, Kite just thinks to himself, hey, child's play.
Hey.
So basically, what Tej is reading, Ponzi would have said.
Right. Chloe's like writing this down with like rapt attention. It's like, okay.
For the record, that is the Neverwinter Extra information.
Gotcha. Not illegal so far. That's good.
No, nothing of these are illegal. The next one is a very thick viridian color. The liquid in this bottle is a pale viridian, almost gaseous, and it smells kind of like roasted chicken. Although Ponzi will tell you it tastes more like bitter coffee. This is the potion of the relic.
Huh.
And what that does is when you ingest it, you get the following effects. You may re-roll all 1s and 2s on the next spell damage roll you make within 1 minute. Until the end of your next turn, after you consume the potion, your speed is doubled. And until the end of your next turn, you are considered under the effects of the Levitate spell.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Pretty much. There's the potion of the relic for you. And finally, the third one. That's not the one I wanted. There he is. The third one. This is a bright pink liquid. This liquid also seems to be sparking from the inside.
Bad.
This is what this does. This is known as Moonshae Infusion. That's Moonshae. Moonshae Infusion. When you ingest this alchemical potion, you gain the following effects. You regain 1 level of exhaustion. You suffer 1d8 of lightning damage, but you gain immunity to the next lightning damage you take, equal to the amount of lightning damage you suffer from the potion.
Specific.
Yes. Very specific.
Interesting. Well,
I mean, they're legit legal potions. Nothing too performance enhancing, though they are kind of rare and pricey.
indeed. Well, we should definitely put them back where we found them, because, I mean, he's clearly keeping track of all of these. I do wonder why he keeps them unlabeled and underneath. Maybe he just made them or something.
Well, if they're unlabeled, it would be harder for someone to steal them because they know what they are.
Fair. That's actually very true.
So investigation checks take a little bit. Usually they take an hour, give or take. So it's been a couple hours now. You guys have been in the shop, and there's nothing so far. At this point, the sun has set, and night has bloomed over Argenti. And as you guys are talking about these rare and expensive potions, I'm going to need you all to make a perception check. Okay. Even Kiara is going to hear them. You hear, as just sort of come around, you hear this. You hear, wait, are you sure this is okay? And you hear another voice. Do we have another choice? He already said he wouldn't help, but we need to get this. And you hear a third voice. This doesn't feel right. First voice again. And the second voice. Yeah, I know, but what other option do we have? It's either we do this or we let our friends die. What do you want us to do? And Kite, with your nat 20, this sounds like a group of children.
Is there only one entrance and exit to the shop?
Yes, there is. I love the look on your face, Jimmy.
Why didn't I get quick sleep?
Kite walks over to the door and just stands right in front of it.
So you hear one of them. Apparently, one of them is decently okay at picking locks and does the whole lock picking. And then they open the door, and you're standing there in front of them. And I will show you the thieves, everybody.
Roll initiative, guys!
Well, no, they're all sitting there, and they look up, and they all have this look of oh crap on their face. But for free, I will give you all that these look like they're orphans.
Kite is like basically just standing with his glaive like in his hand, just like kind of leaning on it, and the gemstone in the glaive starts to glow.
And then you just hear, oh crap, he hired security. What do we do? Run! And you hear the one in the front, the one who in the picture is holding the coat, goes, just run. I'll hold them off. You guys escape. Go!
As everyone turns, they see Kite.
They scream, and the four who tried to run just sort of go, ah! And fall back on their backsides. Like they're panicked, freaking out.
Now, if you would like to calm down, you're obviously not stealing anything tonight. How about you come in and we have a little word?
You're not gonna hurt us? You're not gonna hurt us? You promise?
Keep your fingers off of everything. And no, I will not.
So these kids, like your natural aura of you just mirror image yourself. They're gonna listen to you. Says the five of them shuffle into the shiny flask.
There's children. Goodness.
These are the supposed
So-
robbers that were coming into the store tonight.
As the children walk in, Kite picks up his glaive and sort of points over in like the general direction in front of the counter area. Sit.
They all just go, and it's like they're all like prim and proper. They're sitting like they're absolutely scared, like shaking, but they're sitting down.
Hold on. Kat, while you're doing that, Chloe's going to cast Detect Magic and see if she's like any of these guys are carrying anything magical, or perhaps they might be under some kind of illusion.
Orphans carrying a club. There's no magic involved.
Just in case.
Yeah,
this feels very weird.
Yeah, no, they're orphans carrying a club and a lockpick set. There's no magic here.
Okay, no magic going on with them. That's fine. She still just did it to be safe.
So, in a complete 180, because he obviously knows they're terrified at this point, and they will listen. Who's gonna kill your friends?
What do you mean? Like I thought you were gonna kill him.
How do you even know we were? No. I heard you outside saying that you had to do this, otherwise they were gonna kill your friends.
No. Otherwise they're gonna die. There's been some sort of sickness going through the orphanage, and the guy who runs this place refused to help, and so we know he's not gonna miss the money or the potion. So we knew he'd be out tonight, so we figured we'd just come by and take what we needed.
You need medicine?
That was the correct answer.
We wanted to become famous, everybody.
Yeah.
And one of our people in chat knows exactly what was following that. But you say you knew he was going to be out tonight. How?
If you listen around, like the guy who owns the same thing is like Caspian, I think his name is. Like every month he goes early one night a month for some meeting or whatever. Like it's not new news.
Do you know anything about this meeting? Where it's held, who it's with, what it's for?
No reason to follow him. It had no reason until recently when whenever it started happening at the orphanage started taking hold of everybody.
Did you tell anybody else you were going to do this?
We discussed it. Yeah, I mean, why?
He knew about it. That's why we're here.
Oh. Hey, go ahead and make insight checks.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Kite is so intent on his line of questioning that...
Okay, Ponzi. You know Caspian. You know Caspian is not a dumb person. You figure that the kids didn't flat out tell anyone they were going to do this, but with Caspian having the same schedule month after month, he probably put two and two together and figured this would happen. So he decided he was going to hire somebody and conveniently leave out the fact that they were orphans.
Yeah, it sounds like him.
So, Kite, right now, is more set on continuing to ask questions to the orphans.
Mhm.
So, what sickness is going on at the orphanage?
We don't know. I mean, it's just like it just started happening. Everyone started getting like more tired and more tired and weaker, and now everyone seems like I don't know.
And he wasn't willing to part with medication for free. Did he offer to sell it to you?
We walked in and he did everything just to kick us out. Like he wouldn't even listen to us.
Because he thinks you're lower class.
Because he knows they can't afford it.
Both A and B. You're both right.
What kind of medication do you need?
We don't know. We were just going to take a bunch and see what worked.
That's probably not your safest idea.
Especially not with some of these dangerous potions. Some of these could have killed you if you drank them.
Well, if we don't do something, they're gonna die anyway.
Ponzi,
Yeah.
would you put it past him to try to purposely do something to the orphanage? Maybe as a testing grounds for something?
Ponzi, for free, I will give you this.
Mhm.
You wouldn't put it past him to do something to the orphanage.
I mean, I was going to say that anyway.
Let's say you also know that he is smart enough to, if he's going to test something extremely dangerous, it's probably not going to be on a large group like an orphanage. So you wouldn't put it past him to do something, although this doesn't feel like that.
Oh, the question wasn't necessarily him specifically releasing it, but him being involved in it somehow.
Oh, well, yeah, once again, yeah.
About how much medicine do you think you need?
Like I said, we don't know. We were just going to come in and grab stuff and hope it worked.
I don't
Well,
even know what's wrong with them, so they wouldn't know how much they need.
no, I don't mean that. I mean more how many are sick.
Everybody, like the other 10 of us there, plus the matron, like everybody.
I was trying to think of how much it might cost if we purchased the medicine for them.
At
Well-
his rates, we can't afford it.
What if Ponzi made it?
We have to figure out what they need first.
Wait, you do that? You'd help us?
Well, they would. I wouldn't be much help, but I believe I have other purposes after this meeting.
I get the same feeling.
You'd come with us and help us figure it out?
We'd certainly want to help, right, Ponzi?
You'd help us, Mr. Ponzi? And all five, even though Kite told them to sit down, all 5 orphans come and just gang hug you.
Kite for a second considers yelling at them to sit back down, but then it's like, nah.
And you hear them like, yay, Mr. Ponzi's gonna save everybody!
I hate you all. There's nothing in this for me.
Kite looks over at Ponzi. I bet you're wishing I knocked you out right now.
Right here.
Kai looks and goes, no, this is good. I like this. I
guess we go see what's wrong.
Mr. Ponzi, and so the oldest one goes, oh, I guess we should introduce ourselves. And on the picture, left to right is how I'm going to be introducing them. So the club, then the tall, then all that. So yeah, I'm Jaden. That's Colby, Blaze, Charlie and Cal. And they all kind of sheepishly wave.
Well, Cal, this is Ponzi. You can call him Dan.
What?
But he doesn't look like he's taking a dirt nap. Every Dan I've ever met takes dirt naps.
Just a Final Fantasy speedrunning joke.
Okay.
I figured it was an in joke.
Yep. When you do the Final Fantasy speedrun, you name the 4 characters Ace, Bill, Cal, and Dan. And Dan is usually the one that's dead throughout the entire speedrun.
Oh,
Yeah,
makes
okay.
sense.
I'd rather
That
be
makes
called
sense.
Eddie.
AKA Dirt Nap Dan.
I only went there
Eddie has
because
a
the last
spoon.
name that Teach gave was Cal.
Yep. And the kid's like, yay, Mr. Ponzi, yay!
Well, you can't turn them down now.
Kira looks over at Kite. He's like, what did you think your purpose after this conversation was going to be?
Staying in the shop.
I got the same feeling too. Mind if I stay with you?
You can be a lot more conspicuous than I can be.
True.
So I'm going to have to find a nice little place to camp out.
I can hide myself pretty well.
Hey, Teach, imagine that. We're splitting the party.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, I legitimately have in my notes, this is what's going to happen. Expect the party to split.
I mean, the orphanage is safe. It's like it's not going to get no fight over there.
Legitimately do. So we're going to have Kite and Kiara at the Shiny Flask. And we're going to have Chloe and Ponzi and Kai at the Silver Oak Orphanage, which you know about because you are, again, part of the city, Chloe. So you know exactly where the orphanage is.
Right.
It is basically, it's a couple of blocks over from the sort of business district. So it fits into the narrative of Caspian just wanting something of lower class to be out of the area. It's not in the business district. It's in you don't want to say the slums, but the lower end part of the city. Just happens to be physically close because of the way it's designed to the Shiny Flask. So we will follow the two of you to the Silver Oak Orphanage, which apparently I didn't put that map out.
I do love how the two main fighters have stayed behind while the two supporting type characters are now gone.
Well, no, they
don't
did
need us.
take one fighter with them.
We took Kyle with us, that's
I mean,
true.
What are the odds we run into Bollywogs again?
And the girlfriend orphan bullywugs. Oh, they'll be so cute.
If they're Bollywogs, then their Ponzi's out.
Yeah.
And they're all sick because they have frogs in their throat.
No, I'm just out.
Oh.
They're all turning into bully frogs.
And by out, he means he's becoming Dirt Nap Dan again.
Somebody's killed by an orphan. Like, not even on purpose, like just sneezes on him.
So let's go ahead and head to the orphanage.
Oh dear, there's a map for it.
I have maps for most things, Jimmy.
I know!
Are they like Sparta pits in the middle there?
No, those are stairs going down.
Yeah, spiraling staircase.
I know, but Sparta pits are funnier.
That's true.
So the 8 of you make your way back to the Silver Oak Orphanage. The 5 kids extremely excited, and they're also like, you know, like when you're walking, it's like the kids dancing around somebody. They are absolutely happily dancing around Mr. Ponzi. Yay! Mr. Ponzi, Mr. Ponzi. They're all like dancing around like full on like Lost Boys Peter Pan crap. Like
This is not how I expected this night to go.
Chloe, if you tell one soul about this, the book gets it.
Kai looks and goes, "You go after the book, you get it."
The book wants to use me in a cage.
Probably the best place for you.
Lou's just playing, Ponzi. He's not seriously going to put you in a cage.
Mr. Ponzi, Mr. Ponzi, yay!
Ponzi pulls out his what is it? His alchemist
like pouch, I think is what you, or tools or something.
Or the Jello shots, gives them to the kids so they pass out.
it's the artifice, the alchemy jug, and pours himself a stout drink.
Oh
There you
dear.
Ponzi, make me an acrobatics check as these kids are still dancing around you. Okay, you don't manage to drop the drink as like, Mr. Ponzi, yay!
Well, at least the shouting's not hurting as much.
So you guys make your way to the orphanage, and you get there, and they're like, "Oh yeah, this way," and they bring you to the back where all the beds are. And I'm just gonna use this side here. Those are all full with orphans and what appears to be the woman in charge of this.
Hmm. Well, it's definitely where we should go first. So, Ponzi, this is something you know about better than I do. I don't know anything medical.
I don't know anything medical either.
You heal the prince.
Well, why don't we start with, checking if there's some magical crud going on here.
That's actually fair. Chloe would do detect magic to see if maybe the sickness might have been magically induced.
So they run in, and the Osman Jaden runs over to the closest bed where the matron of the orphanage is in there. And no, her name is not Adia, so don't ask me that.
It's
Okay.
gonna be Joy.
Nurse Joy? Yeah.
No. Miss Yasmin. That's Yasmin, Jamie.
Ooh, I like that name. Thank you.
She goes, You're back. You made it back? How did it go? I told you not to go, but... And you can, Ponzi, you can hear, like, she sounds tired, her breathing sounds labored. Go ahead, if you would be so kind. Give me a medicine or nature check. Ooh, that's a good roll. You take a look, and you look around, and you immediately know what this is, basically. And with the 19, you also know that something's a little strange about this. Because on the surface, this looks like sewer rot. Sewer rot is commonly deterred by cramps, exhaustion, things like that. Usually bed rest. It's pretty easily cured. This one seems a little more on the aggressive side, and there are some small black lesions on her arm.
Oh,
So
dear.
this is sewer rot, but it's mutated. Now, go ahead, if you would be so kind, and give me an alchemy check. Okay, with that, you take a little scraping of the sore, get into a vial, do your alchemist thing, and you think you know how to cure it. But there's a small problem.
Of course there is.
Most of the reagents you have, but there is one that you don't have, and you're not entirely sure where to get. You need pollen from a flower known as the mirage flower.
So Ponzi's going to open that bag that he was given and see what's inside.
Okay. Going to the bag of crazy stuff. Alrighty. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. The bag of wondrous randomization. Okay. Once per day, as an action, somebody can reach into their bag and remove something from it. Go ahead and roll me a 1d100. $51. Okay. You reach into the bag, pull out a pint glass filled with a white liquid. Congratulations. You have procured a glass of milk.
Well, I mean,
Does do a body good.
It does. I have a question. Chloe does have a researcher.
Go right ahead.
So yeah, when she attempts to recall a piece of lore or information,
I may have put that in my notes for this.
Okay. Well, it says I can know where to find it.
You do know where to find it. You know exactly where to find the Mirage Flower.
Oh.
A little north of the city, up the Erie River.
Oh, okay.
In the Argent Glade.
What's the Argent Glade?
It's a swamp north of Argenti.
Swamp? Oh no.
Glade, of course, is a term for a swamp that shimmers.
Oh, that's
worse.
That's kind of pretty.
Wonderful. We're getting fetch quests.
Hey. It's fetch quests.
Fetch quest.
It's fetch quests
Have
for
to be a
orphans.
fetch quest. It
It's
is
for
a
orphans.
fetch quest for orphans. How can you say no?
Exactly.
And
So
Chloe,
tells him.
I will also give you for free that you're going to want the whole crew for this one.
Yeah, I think we're not going to go off to a random bog alone.
So I guess the question here, and you may make me roll or whatever. Can Ponzi whip up something enough to stabilize them at least?
Oh, 100%.
temporarily?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. You can stabilize them, but in order to cure it, you're going to need the Mysteria flower, the Mirage flower. Mysteria flower is something different.
I'm going to take the time to stabilize the orphan.
And if you're going to take your time to do it, it's going to be like the whole taking 20 thing that used to be in 3.5. I'm just going to let it happen.
That's fine.
Shift scene back to the...
While we're doing all this.
Yeah, basically. So it's Kite and Kiara in the shiny flask.
Kiara's kind of pacing. At this point, she has actually let the light go. And she's kind of pacing a bit, thinking, why orphans? It doesn't make sense. She looks over at Kite. Because obviously they know none of this. So.
I have a feeling I'm going to be beating answers out of someone tonight.
Oh, you got that feeling too. I knew there was a reason I liked you.
I just hope I don't slip up and use the wrong end of my glaive to beat the answers out of him.
Well, I do believe humans can withstand a stab as long as you don't hit the main organs.
Would the brain be considered a main organ?
Fortunately, I believe so. But maybe there's more than one of them.
As this is going on, please give me perception checks.
Oh, God.
Oh, it's the second thief! The fake out!
Hey.
Okay. As this conversation is going on, you hear from the lab area the sound of a vial smashing. And you look, and the whole lab area is now on fire.
Huh. Well, that's a thing. Is there a source of water around?
Give me a quick perception check. You find, there is a small, again, this is sort of medievalish times. There's no sink, but there is a water bucket.
That's what I meant, like a well or something.
Not in the alchemy shop. You know there's one outside, but you don't know if you're going to be fast enough to go get it and douse it.
Right. Does the bucket got water in it?
The bucket does have some water in it, but
Kiara grabs the bucket and runs over and tries to throw the water inside the bucket into the most flaming spot. Try to slow down the fire as much as she can.
roll me 2d4.
What was that? I'm sorry.
2d4. You manage to douse a little bit of the fire, but this is spreading fast. Like, this seems to be hit all of the flammable potions, and it's starting to spread very, very fast.
Kite, any ideas?
For us to not stay in here?
I mean, okay, yes, but I feel like we should put this fire out quickly.
I don't think we have that capability. Kite wants to recall if there were any windows in the lab.
That'd be an insight check. Not a hard one, because it's... Yeah. If we go back to Shiny Flask here, the lab, in my mind, is this section up here. There are no windows in the lab.
So after Kite and Kiara get out of the shop, Kite looks over. You do realize there was no way for anything to come from outside into that lab, right?
Yes. Because whoever was there had to be there before we got there.
So
Which means-
either Ponzi's old friend was planning something extremely elaborate to cover up something great, or he's not as aware of things going on in his shop as he would make it seem.
I doubt he would just let someone pass him by and stay in his shop without him doing anything about it. So I have to imagine he's trying to cover something up, but unfortunately, the way this fire is spreading, he's going to succeed.
Well, here's more of my thought. What was supposed to be occurring at this very point?
That meeting.
Well, in his shop. We were supposed to be...
we were supposed to be fighting robbers.
We were supposed to be fighting orphans.
Yes.
He could have put that under the guise that it was collateral damage that caused this.
He also could have set something up to where there's nobody there. It's just a trap.
Yeah, I mean, he gets rid of the remaining orphans that were able to come and rob his shop. He doesn't have to pay us for it because we're dead.
Yeah. I can see that.
But, and I'll give you a perception check for this, Tej.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe there's anyone around. We should probably make sure that we're not seen.
Agreed.
So go ahead and give me check.
Did you say stealth?
I did say stealth.
So, well,
That's actually 22, I think? No. No, it's a 19. Never mind. Because the Bells of Silence was Dex 2. Okay, got it. Got it.
You also have advantage on stealth.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that's roll second one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Even so, like with the 19, even though Kite got a 4, your 4 is more like, this the clangety of kunai and armor like that. Kiara is like, no, in here now. Like Kiara knows how to slip away from something. She's like, no, you here now, and just starts dragging you down an alleyway to get out of there.
This is what I do.
Yes,
Disappear real quick.
yes, I'm sure all the metal on armor does not help my ability to be quiet.
Yeah, it probably doesn't. That's okay, though. I think we got out unseen. So, it's very likely that that shop owner burned his own shop down to try to kill all of us, including the orphans, who we were supposed to be fighting.
Yeah, I probably to clean up whatever else too, because I'm not really certain that he believed that we wouldn't be able to take out some orphans.
Right. Yeah, there's no way he would have thought we couldn't beat these.
I mean, after all, he did approach Ponzi about this before he even knew who we were.
That's also true.
So the important question is, as Kite and Kiara are watching the building go up in flames, are there any explosive potions that cause fireworks?
Absolutely. It is a fantastic show. And some of the other businesses, like one of the Rose and Crown bar across the street, all of the drunk patrons come out and they start watching this fireworks show. The bard and his band from the bar start playing the 1812 overture to the fireworks.
The 1812
It's a
overture,
spectacle.
even though we're in like 1400.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And
But yes,
I'm not even sure this is Earth, but okay.
you get the point, though.
Yeah.
Suspension of disbelief.
So, like, Kiara looks up.
We have Jello shots. We have the 1812 overture.
Yeah. Kiara looks up, like, yeah, that does look like a very good, spectacular thing.
Yeah, I'd really be enjoying this if it weren't for, well, everything else involved.
I mean, you're not wrong, but the colors are kind of nice.
And you hear in unison, ooh, ah, ah. And then one drunk guy from the back, pretty colors.
Okay, not that pretty.
This is why I don't drink.
This is why I should not drink.
And you look over, you see the bartender. All right, Doug, let's go. Let's get you back on the seat. And this dwarven bartender walks around, goes and picks up the drunk human Doug, just puts him back on the chair, walks around and hands him another beer.
Ale.
No, it's a dwarf. It's a stout.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough.
So, Kite's just sitting there watching everything go up in flames, and
So is Kiara.
and is just like, well, I'm still gonna wait for him to return.
Yeah.
So yeah, at this point, like the local firefighting authorities show up, which is literally just a bunch of wizards casting create water on top of it.
Right.
So they finally put out, and this place is destroyed.
It's like unsalvageable. It needs to be like condemned, torn down, and rebuilt.
Exactly. Go ahead and make me insight checks, y'all.
We're not getting paid tonight.
Also, is the name of that fire department the Book and Wizard instead of Hook and Ladder?
I'll allow it. Kite, you're pretty sure that you can wait here as long as you want, but based on the surmise that you guys have come up with, Caspian's not coming back.
He's not coming back, is he?
given what we're watching, I think he would know he had nothing to come back to.
Yeah. Which makes it all the more likely he did this in the first place, or at least knew what was going to happen. I still think, I doubt, we just saw no one else leave that place. And I know weren't able to look at every window, but you would think, but as you said, there was no windows in the lab. And you would think we would have seen someone run out of there at some point. That must have been a setup, trap kind of a thing.
Oh, absolutely.
In other words, that jerk tried to get us.
Would you like a drink on me?
You know what? In this circumstance, sure.
Kite walks over to that very bar that had all the fireworks spectators.
All right, the Rose and Crown.
Kira follows, obviously.
The two of you walk into the Rose and Crown. The bar is surprisingly empty right now because all the patrons are still out watching the spectacle, and they have their beers with them. So it's just drunk Doug at the end of the bar and this gruff dwarven bartender.
Barkeep. Whatever the lady wants.
All right, what can I do you for, missy?
Oh, what do you got that's not too strong, but still strong enough to relax someone?
Based on the way you're talking, you're not the one who's drank much, have you? I got just the thing for you. Hold on. It's from across the marshes, way up north, but you'll appreciate it.
Oh, good.
And you are going to make me break out my homebrew beer stuff, aren't you?
Yes.
So hold on a second.
I'm assuming Kiara has had like some intoxicating drinks in her tribe before, but nothing like human or dwarven ale or anything like that.
So he goes and he goes ahead and he goes to the tap and pours out this thing. He goes, and one for you too, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't partake, but I do have a few questions, if you don't mind.
So you got one of you drinking, so I can absolutely do that. So,
Depending on the information you give, I'll pay for a drink even if I don't drink it.
alrighty. So this is this beer. This is a northern. All right. So just so you're aware, the beers here, until you've sort of built up a little bit of a tolerance to them, they have a couple of weird after effects. So don't pay too much attention. Nothing bad, I promise you that. That is a ravishing red ale from up north past the mountains. And there are a couple things that one's going to give you. Have you taken a sip yet?
No.
Okay. So first of all, even though you're getting drunk, you're going to feel smarter for a little bit. Till the buzz wears off, you're going to be a little smarter. And don't be alarmed if your hair suddenly grows very long and surprisingly flippable.
Surprisingly what?
Surprisingly flippable.
Flippable. Okay.
Yes, exactly what Jamie just did. So mechanically speaking, the Ravishing Red Ale gives you +2 to your wisdom and intelligence scores for 1 hour, and you also gain long, flowing, flippable hair.
So
because you're worth it.
Exactly.
What I imagine is Kiara was originally going to take a sip, but with the stein in her hand, she is just sitting there puzzled, trying to figure out and read through the accent of the dwarf.
Yes. It's like you remember Back to the Future 3 with Doc's just standing there with the shot glass for the entire night. Yeah, Kiara's just sitting there with the side in her hand, like, I'm trying to figure out if this is worth it.
Oh, trust me, Missy, it's worth it. It's gonna be the best beer you've ever had.
It'd be the first beer I've ever had.
Ergo, the best beer you've ever had. And then the next one you drink will be the best beer you've ever had. You got to drink like a dwarf.
I'm not a dwarf, though.
No, you don't have to be a dwarf to drink like a dwarf. You just gotta drink like a dwarf.
Don't drink like a dwarf. I don't have that much money on me.
I wasn't planning to. I was just
This is a smart man right here. You said you had questions, laddie. What can I help you with?
She is just going to sit there and down the thing. And I mean down the thing.
So you get, like, you're a cat person. And I know this technically is supposed to be on male lions, but you get a luscious, luxurious, fluffy mane.
And at this point, she doesn't care because she's, feeling the effects.
You are smarter, wiser, and absolutely fabulous.
So what'd you say that did just out of...
For the next hour, you get +2 to your wisdom and intelligence score.
Okay, I doubt that'll come into play, but I'll do it anyway.
Probably not, but again, you also have this wonderful... He looks and goes, well, that's the first time that's happened. Usually it's just the hair, but that's a good look on you, Missy.
Well, thank you. Never had a... Only the males of our tribe normally get one of these.
I'm a dwarf. I appreciate good facial hair, and that's good facial hair.
So, Kite, sort of just shoving a little bit of the extra hair that's flowed over onto him off.
Yeah.
How well do you know the owner of what that was?
You mean old Caspian, huh? Oh,
yes, him.
Since the shop's burned down, I guess I don't have to pretend like I'm upper class anymore. God, he's a pain in the rear, that one. Always complaining about the drunks, so we had to build a special deck out on the back just so the drunks could go outside so he wouldn't bitch about them.
Do you know anything about his meetings, like the one that he attended tonight?
Tell you much. Never stepped over here, really. All I heard was through the grapevine from what the owner said, and he said he's just a complaining piece of crap. Nobody really knows. It's once a month. He goes and does this. Who knows?
Do you know
Frankly,
where?
those are the best nights for business because he's closed at 6 and we're open all night.
Do you know where?
Unfortunately, I wish I could tell you. Because if I knew where his meetings were, I'd show up there with a pint of good stout and shove one down his stuck-up throat.
Well, if you have any information on where he may be, I can stick this glaive down his throat for you.
Cut it in beer.
It'll make it go down smoother.
I like the way you think. I wish I knew where he went. I really do. But alas, I have no clue. But I do know is that he looks as the people come in. Alrighty, real quick, everybody. We got a special tonight. All beers are half price due to the fireworks show. And the place goes nuts.
It's happy hour all night.
Basically. So,
well,
alrighty.
Well, thank you for your time, good sir. How much for the main over here?
You know something? That's on the house. That's beautiful. Just take it. Trust me, I'm gonna make so much money from these idiots. I don't need to worry about that one.
Kite pulls out 5 gold and just sets it on the bar anyway, and leaves.
It's a tip.
But in that case, you're welcome back in the Rose and Crown anytime. As are you too, Misty. Enjoy the main.
Yes, thank you. She's not quite grooming herself like a cat, but she's definitely like grooming herself with her hand.
Oh, Keith.
Yeah.
The orphanage. Where is it?
It's going to be 2 blocks north, pretty much directly behind what used to be the Shiny Flask.
That was quick.
For the record, in case you need it, the name's Orion.
Kite sort of does the tip of the cap, but with his glaive. Thank you, good sir. And
He tips the glass back at you.
And Kite makes his way up towards the orphanage.
Kira's gonna go with him after she puts the mug back down on the bar and just kind of gives a wave.
And pardon the pun here, but as you're walking out with that luxurious mane, you get a bunch of cat calls.
Saddest thing is she doesn't even know what that is.
And then you hear drunk Doug, I'll groom that for you. Doug, shut up, she's out of your league. And besides, her friend has a sharp stick, and you don't want that.
Nice.
So it doesn't take you long to go ahead and get into the low rent district to find the Silver Oak Orphanage. And you walk up, so Ponzi is in the middle of mixing his stuff, so Chloe and Kai will be the first to notice Kiara's magnificent mane.
Kiara,
It's not what you're thinking, Chloe.
what am I thinking?
It was not a potion.
I was just more surprised. I didn't know that a female Lagoos grew hair like that.
We don't normally.
Oh, okay.
Apparently this ale did it to me.
The
It's
positive stuff.
fabulous, so I can't.
Yeah, ale.
Oh, it puts hair on your chest. Oh.
Oh.
Ah.
By the way, small point. We decided to go to the bar because the shop blew up.
Oh, that's fine. You can what?
Ponzi drops what he's doing and just kind of looks up. What?
Oh, the whole place went on fire. It's quite spectacular. There was a lot of fire, pretty lights in the sky.
How did that happen?
It was a setup.
What did you touch?
We didn't touch anything. It was a setup. A flask was set up in the lab.
Why would it be set up in... Was he setting a trap for the orphans?
Yep, and us.
Gets rid of us, doesn't have to pay us. Gets rid of the orphans, doesn't have to worry about them robbing him. And if there's anything else in the shop, because obviously it wasn't something he cared about or something that he wanted to cover up, well, that's just collateral damage from the fight that took place in there between the orphans and us.
So Chloe's like,
Me.
oh, well, nobody got hurt. It's just... What a terrible, terrible creature.
No, Ponzi's a terrible, terrible creature. This guy is absolutely despicable.
I'm over here making potions for these orphans who are sick. I can't be that terrible.
Oh, yeah.
Redemption is a multi-step process.
Speaking of, Ponzi did find out what their sickness might be. And we do have a cure. It's apparently an aggravated something or other. What was it, Ponzi? Sewer rat?
Yeah, it's some
Sewer rot.
Sewer rot?
A mutated sewer rot.
And it requires a reagent that actually grows north of the city. So we might be able to get that and help these orphans to at least get cured. So even as terrible as all was, we might be able to actually do some good.
Hold on 1 second.
This whole time, by the way, Kira is like pulled out a comb and is now like brushing her new mane.
Survival or nature, Tej?
Whichever you want.
To just know the terrain around the city.
Oh, I'll give you that for free. North of the city, because Chloe knows, so north of the city, if you go up the river a little ways, it's swamp. It's swampland.
Well, no. I want Kite to know so I know how to gauge his reaction.
Oh, okay. Then in that case, nature. Yeah, it's swampland. You know, 100%.
Ah,
I mean, with a name like Glade, it's kind of pretty clear.
yeah,
But yeah.
yeah, but so no big deal. You just want us to walk into one of the most dangerous bogs in the entire land.
Was that the most dangerous? Is it the most dangerous?
It's probably the Ratlin Bog.
Hmm.
I mean, I did say one of the most dangerous.
Yes, exactly.
Well, it can't be that dangerous if it's right next to the city. Right? Like, it's not that far of a walk, is it? Do we know?
It's upriver.
Oh. Oh no, the Zahagan. Oh, but we have to help the orphans. Well, Kite, we can't turn down orphans.
At that, you just hear a well-timed from one of the orphans.
Where do I feel? I just heard someone say, we can't turn this down.
And we couldn't, because if we hadn't done that, we wouldn't have found out about the orphans and wouldn't be able to help them. Don't you see? It's like she said, that fate is actually putting us in a direction.
If we would have actually fought these orphans, we would have all been dead right now.
But we didn't. And we weren't supposed to.
Because Dad Kite.
Well, yes, of course. But regardless of anything, we are in a prime position to help some people.
I'm not saying we aren't. I'm just asking you if you know what this entails.
I don't.
You should, because you live in the city.
I do live in the city. Do I know what kind of things are in this blog, by the way, considering I've probably read about the blog itself, or the glade itself?
Go ahead and make me an insight check.
Bing! 4. Oh, I only read about the flowers and the cats.
Yeah, you have no clue. You have, as far as you know, with a name like Argent Glade, it's sunshine and rainbows.
I assumed it was a really beautiful place where the flowers just bloomed. But upon second thought, that's probably not very...
That could be further from the truth.
Yep. It's a swamp. With an 18 nature check, you know a little bit about that type of thing, and it's not gonna be like super overrun with dangerous things because it is a decent proximity from a major city, but it's a swamp, so some things could move in. Like there could be some gators or who knows, but it's definitely not going to be a walk in the park, but it's probably not as dangerous as some swamps could be.
This city is like in the northern part of the kingdom, right?
It's basically, if you're going by river, it's basically as far north as you can get without like hitting the mountain.
Okay, because I would probably have the knowledge of this bog only because I'm in the forest in the northern part here.
Yeah. Which is why, yeah, like I said, like, because of its proximity to the city, there's probably not the normal, typical crazy bog haunts. Like, you're probably not going to run into, like, you know, like bog witches
or lizard men or something.
Or will-o'-the-wisps. But there could be some things there, but not the crazy.
In terms of bogs, it's probably pretty tame. But that's not saying much. It's not exactly something you just want to go charging into.
Well, considering that our job for the night has been waylaid, and Ponzi was able to put in a small, like, well, you weren't able to like stay off the disease, but you basically put a stopgap in. We do have probably a night to get prepared if you want to go out and try to make some headway tomorrow. I assume Caspian isn't coming back to check on his handiwork.
Caspian has nothing to come back to.
And he likely knows that.
Ponzi, do you have any idea where these meetings could be or what they may be about?
No, but I'm going to find him. I'm going to shoot him with his own pistol.
You took his pistol?
Yeah, the two things you took were the pistol and the goggles.
I don't know you took him. I thought you just found him. Oh dear.
Because none of y'all were supposed to be there. He wanted
Right.
to kill me and the orphans. And I'm going to kill him first.
And that is where we'll end our session. So thank you all very much for watching. On behalf of Chameleon Ice, Crimson Avix, No Racer, and OPT Lawyer, I am TGE, reminding everybody to, of course, as always, keep hailing.